Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our second set of alternatives for the October 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Cozy Christmas. Here are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done these as intended. But we're going to do ours a little bit different, so let's get started. So we're going to do two pretty easy ones today. So we're going to start the first one with, this was a card base that was in the kit. So we're just going to fold this in half and give it a good burnish. So this is like 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of, this came from the Iconic Images paper from last year, or Iconic something, I forget what it was, Iconic something. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I thought this went really well with this colored paper and looks Christmassy. So we're going to make this our next layer. So let's get this glued down here, and hopefully I have enough glue to get through this. I might have to dig out another thing of glue because this one is almost empty. I know it's got a little bit left in it, but it does not want to come out. Okay, let's just see if we can rustle us up another one that actually has some glue in it. Or we might just have to use tape runner. Oh, no, wait a minute. I've got more glue. Hold the phone. Let me get it out of the package here, and we will be in business. Oh my goodness. Alright, it doesn't want to come out and play with us today. There we go. Okay. So now I have to be careful not to squeeze too hard, because I will end up with glue everywhere. Okay, so let's get our first layer on here. I'm going to open this up just so I can better try to center this up. So we'll get that on there. Let's see. That looks pretty good. So we'll do it right like that. So there's our first layer. Now, next layer. This is what we've got for the inside. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have a tag that I cut out of the add-on dies, the Abundant Joy dies, which were the add-on for this quarter. I used this tag. I used the word joy, and I used this little flower piece here. So let's see. We're going to put our tag down here. So this is out of Basic Beige. And I put a bow of linen thread through there. So we're going to put that on the front. And we're going to put our joy that we cut out right across our tag. So let's go ahead and get our joy put down. So just a little bit of glue. We don't need a lot. And we'll just hit the highlights here. Okay, so let's get that down on our tag. So we're going to go just like this. Let's scoot this over just a little bit, because I'd like for it to be centered in here if we could. And straight. There we go. Oh my goodness. Now it wants to stick to me and not to the tag. Alright, so there's our joy. And then we're going to take this and kind of put it on here sideways so that it almost looks like, you know, the tag on a present. So let's see. Let's pop this up on some dimensionals. So let's just put a few of those around here. And we will give this some depth. So, okay, now We'll get our backs off. And we're just going to put this kind of like that. Okay, so there's that. Now, for the inside, so we've got Joy out here. For the inside, we're just going to stamp Merry Christmas. So this was the Merry Christmas stamp that came in the set. So here, it's this one. So we're going to do it in Cherry Cobbler. So let's just get this inked up. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to line this up on my glass mat in hopes that I can get it straight. I'm having one of those crooked days, I think, because everything I've stamped so far today has just been crooked. So that's not too bad. So put our ink away, and we'll get this on the inside of our card. And get some bling on the outside, and this one will be done. Because who doesn't need an easy button? You know, let's see. Today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So like 5 days before Christmas, right? Everybody needs an easy button at 5 days before Christmas. Okay. So, there's that. Now we've got our little flower that I cut, and I'm just going to put right here on the edge. So, I'm going to put liquid glue on that side. And then I'm going to take a mini dimensional, and we'll take one of these and take the backing off of it. If I can get it off. And then I'm just going to take the dimensional and pick it up with my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to just kind of slide it right under this edge of this flower. Put it right there. That'll keep that side from drooping. Since we had this popped up, we kind of need that to be at the same level. So, okay, bling. This is the sequins that were in the kit. So we will use a couple of these. Maybe. Let's see, where should we put one? Let's get a little one down here. And we'll put that here. I need to get some more putty out of the end of my Take Your Pick tool because I think mine's all come off. So now we'll put one, where do we think? Maybe right up here in the corner. There we go. So there, pretty easy. Christmas card. This would be like a last minute Christmas card, you know, like 5 days before Christmas, and you're like, oops, I need one more. So this would be a pretty easy one. Now, our last one here is also going to be easy. So I've got a card base out of Basic Beige that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Give this a good burnish. I've got piece for the inside that's 5 by 4 1/4. This is half of one of the card bases that was in the kit, and I've cut this to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and we're going to put that as our first layer here. So for this one I wanted just a tiny little border around it, so this is just a tad bit bigger than our normal first layer. But I didn't want so much of a border around this one. So this is going to give you just the tiniest of borders. Okay, so we've got that. Now, in the kit, there was this punch out. So we're going to put this as our next layer. So we'll get this down. We're going to center this up. Just like that. Give that a good press. Now, we've got ornament that we have to put together. So this came in the kit, and this is the part that's got the flocking on it, the green. So this goes just around the outside. So we'll put some little glue dots, maybe, around, there we go, around the outside here. You can do the middle. Let's get the edges. And we'll get just the very tip of this ornament. Of course, I've got glue everywhere. Which, does that surprise anybody? No. Okay. Now, let's turn this over. We're just going to position this around the outside of that ornament piece. And we'll just wiggle this into place so that it's like that. Okay, now we're going to put this on the front. We also have this piece. This is supposed to be like the topper to the ornament. It's got some holly leaves, pine needle leaf, and this is like what you would hang the ornament from the tree. So let's get, this is going to go, before I put this down, I want to stamp up here in the corner. So we're going to stamp the deck the halls right here. So let's put our ornament out of the way for a minute and kind of let it dry for a second while we do our stamping. So we will open our ink again. I'm going to do this deck the halls. Let's get this inked up. Looks pretty good. I want to put it right up. Oops. Well, that's not good. We kind of need it to stick to the block, don't we? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I'm going to put it right up here in the upper right-hand corner. So now, let's see if I can get it straight since it fell off my block. Didn't have it on there very good. Let's see. Hopefully. Oops. I have a feeling. Okay, not bad. Shoo. Okay. So that's on the outside. On the inside, we're going to do Merry Christmas again, just like we did on the first one. So I'll ink this up. And we'll get this down. Hopefully centered and straight. Okay, not bad. Alright, now the ink away. And let's get this puppy finished. So we're going to put this on right here, and I think I'd like to pop this up on some dimensionals. So let's go, oops, not those. Those were our little ones. Where did my big ones go? Here. So we will go ahead and get this put down. And okay, get some more, get the backs off of this. And let's see, one more. Get them all? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put this right here, kind of down toward the bottom because we want to have room for our topper piece. And then it's going to go here. So we can put it up on some dimensionals as well. So we will put one here. And let's see if we have room. I'm going to use little ones now on these holly pieces just because they're not very wide. And I don't want the dimensional hanging over the edge. So we will get that down. We'll get the backs off of these. And we'll position this right on top of our ornament, just like that. And we're just going to let our tree branch there kind of hang. And then I'm going to take my scissors and we'll just snip this off so it's even with the top of the card. So we'll just give it snip. And maybe that's good. Okay. And actually, I'd like to have it just a little bit shorter. There we go. Okay. So there's that. Let's get some bling on this one. So let's see. Let's do a big one. Things that make you say, I don't know why I struggle so much with these. With the bling. I just never know where to put it. I mean, not that it really matters, but for some reason it just drives me crazy. Okay, so here are our 2 cards that we made today. Look how pretty those are. And really simple. So, again, like I said, last minute for sure. So, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will actually be back a little later today with our Fun Pull Friday. So I will see you all then. Have a crafty afternoon. Bye.